Friends, for our program, for your edification, we had Dr. Amita Mullawatal, who talked about evaluation, examination, and assessments. And then she explained in detail that how, if the 30% syllabus has been reduced, the course has been reduced, there is no question of compromising with the competencies. Learning outcomes are not going to be reduced in that. So that was one very important area that I wanted her to speak, and then of course share many more experiences of her own school and of other places, how things are going about in the CBSE or in NCRT and other programs that she's involved in. Now today we have Dr. Jitendra Nagpal, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, and a special friend of all the schools of Delhi, where he has been really guiding everybody how to really look after the well-being and the mental health of children. And especially he started a program called Adolescent Summit, which I think this was the 7th year. We are not able to complete that, where we had children from all over the country and even from abroad who came and shared their views related to well-being, and then how mental health is very important for all the children in the school as well as in the college. Today, he is going to talk to us about, during this COVID-19 time, how children are really in trouble. Parents are also confused, teachers are also confused, teachers are trying to unlearn and relearn. Parents are really confused how to look after the children. And he is the right person to talk to us today related to the well-being and the mental health during this COVID-19 time. So welcome, Dr. Jitendra Nagpal. Okay, friends, for your edification, today we have a very, very dear and a very special personality with us today. He is Dr. Jitendra Nagpal, Senior Consultant, Psychiatrist, in charge, Institute of Mental Health and Life Skills Promotion, Moolchand, MedCity. A very well-known personality who's associated with Central Board of Secondary Education, NCERT, UNESCO, WHO, and many more national and international organizations. He's pioneer in starting peer counseling and mental health issues in schools. And he's on the advisory board of most of the National Progressive Schools Conference schools. A very dear friend of mine in any case. I have a special regards for him. And we have been associated for the last, I think, more than 25 years, and we have worked together. And I still remember the Adolescent Summit, that we started. And I don't know, this year we'll not be able to do it because of this COVID-19. But it has been one of the best programs in which the personalities of children changed. They came out so beautifully. The whole individual aspect, you brought them out. So friends,
thank you, ma'am.
We have Dr. Nagpal with us today. And sir, if you give me permission, I will be putting up some questions to you. And there are parents and students who are looking forward to your.
Wonderful, ma'am. Good evening. Thank you so much.
And because of the COVID-19, the children are all locked inside. Parents, teachers, they're all disturbed. There's a social distancing. There are so many issues which are there, and they do not know how to really deal with them, and especially the mental health and well-being issues. Now, when it comes to teachers to begin with, they have their personal issues, their social issues, and then related to school and to children. So they are really going to a very traumatic stage. And when I talk to some of the teachers, I find that they're trying, they're doing the best. Teachers are really working very hard. They're preparing themselves. They have prepared the lessons throughout the holidays. They have been working. But still, I personally feel that their mental health and their well-being is very, very important. If we do not take care of that, if they are not given the tips, they might get into trouble, or they might even collapse to some extent, the younger ones. So it's very important. People like you, especially a person like you, who can really give an advice and tips to the teachers related to mental health and well-being during this time when they are going through a very tough time. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Usha ji. And I would call you Professor Usha Ram. And you've been a teacher of all the seasons. And I think you not only have been able to influence people like me, but also a lot many mental health professionals, special educators across the country. So thank you so much for giving me the honor to be part of this podium and August platform. I really congratulate you for even having thought that this can be a disseminating platform to a lot of people who are able to understand, who are able to appreciate that schooling is not anymore confined to an accomplishment. And schooling is not about achieving targets of maybe the academics or even the behavior or even the sports and games and everything else. School is about enjoying every moment spell out in the heart and the mind of a child. I think once we are able to gauge the happiness and the celebration of children about their childhood, I think the schooling is successful. I think you've been one of the principals, one of the educators across the country who have actually laid the foundations of the true education. We all believe that our country started with literacy long back after independence, and we were very successful. We are able to make a difference to the literacy of crores of young people in our country, and we were able to bring them to the basic minimum learning capacity or the indicators of literacy. But then the whole idea about education became a very important movement in the country. And education is about complete construction of a personality, as we all learned together. It is a construction of the complete construction of the entire human physical, psychological, and social fabric. If that is taken in the spirit of what we need to go on observing, go on thinking, go on feeling the emotional expression of every child every moment, I think then we are doing justice to the schooling part. I remember Mark Twain very often has repeated in many of his books, I have never let schooling interfere with my education. What a statement. Schooling is not about only bringing laurel or the achievement or the decoration in our children. I think every child who joins the school in the nursery or the kindergarten and he moves out as a young gentle lady and gentleman, I think the idea about happy, healthy, harmonious, and a child who has actually grown into a resilient young adolescent moving on to take on the world in the college, that is the idea of education. So where does mental health then fit in? Isn't it? Mental health is not about, absence of any mental illness. Mental health is not any personal failure and the ability to come out of that. Mental health is not about an investment only in the family or a school. It is a national investment in education. That is what we have learned. Because where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, tell us, haven't we been hearing from day one in our school? Where the mind is without fear. If the child has apprehension, if the child has a feeling of interpersonal conflict, if a child grows with the idea that it is an uncomfortable space, whether I'm in the family or the school, where the child feels a little difficulty in communicating with himself or herself and has a difficulty in establishing a accord with the environment, that is mental health and the difficulties in coping with it. We need to identify and recognize early whatever could be a disturbing or a disturbed human being. We are all going through difficulties. COVID-19 has been able to give us a lesson for a lifetime. Very sudden, isn't it? Very sudden, large magnitude, unexpected, unanticipated, absolutely shocking disaster across the world, isn't it? So it is a challenge to change, to identify what are the resilient mechanisms in a human being which may help the human being to adapt, to accommodate, and move on. This is the challenge given to us by nature. And this is a very beautiful evaluation that the human being has to respond. If the parents can be the role model, if the teachers can be the role model, then the mental health of the child is not far behind. The well being of the child is a celebration. I am strongly advocating that idea. Let's celebrate children because we are celebrating childhood. And every moment, एक जो जड़ से बच्चा एक पेड़ की तरह, एक बगीचे की तरह बड़ा होता है, उसकी महक जो है वो तमाम बगीचे तक पहुंचती है, एक फूलों से निकलती हुई तमाम इन्फ्लोरेंसेस में, complete garden of life, that is the school and the family and the society. I think that beautiful manure, the ability to become stronger, faster, and grow higher, that will to make a difference to his own life, irrespective of the grades given in the mathematics or the science or social science. The marks are not the criteria to decide success anymore. We all know that. We all know, studies are telling us that people with positive mental health, people with a positive resilience about their personality, the ability to adapt to changing circumstances, the childhood, the middle childhood, the adolescence, the peer group, the peer pressure, and also the challenge about adapting to a variety of careers which are available and deciding with the life skills, the problem solving, the critical thinking, what to choose in life. I think, madam, you remember, we have done so many training programs in life skills education. And that has taught us only one thing, that children need to be understood better. I have learned in the last 15 years of the life skills program we introduced in the country for the first time in schools, that children need to be understood every moment. If that is the encyclopedia I have learned, I think positive mental health and well-being is another chance to understand the children of our country. Because many of them are suffering. Many of them, millions of them are suffering. As you said rightly, the mental health importance given to the overall health of the person in the school has not been on very high priority in the last decade. But now I think the time has come. Great education leaders like you and many other principals across the country, lot of parents, lot of doctors, lot of people who are in the field of mental health are joining hands in solidarity and celebrating the happiness and the smile of a child. कहते हैं ना कि हर बच्चे की जिंदगी, उसकी मुस्कुराहट बहुत कीमती है हमारे लिए, वो देश की संपत्ति है. Every smile is a wealth of the nation in a child. Every child who yearns to go to the school in the morning, every child who loves to celebrate his presence in the school corridor, not only the classroom, the playground, the laboratory, the gym, and the peer group. I think this is what is positive mental health. Are we creating it? Are we creating a climate? Are we creating an environment? Are we creating a complete ambience for celebrating mind as a component of education? That is the advocacy and the charm of being a human being of 21st century, where education becomes only my partner. I celebrate life at my own instance. To me, ma'am, this is the larger description of mental health and well-being, and I'm sure we'll be able to take it forward with this particular beginning.
Yeah, I know. Certainly, you just explained in nutshell that how life skills and how to keep children happy and how to celebrate life. What happens even now, the percentage, the marks, the grades. But CBSE, I just read today, they have taken out the word fail, and I'm sure you are
Yes.
a part of it. You know,
Yes,
you were
yes,
the one,
yes.
the one who were really advocating this for the last so many years, and I'm sure this has really come into light now that there is no word failure. It's only that they can improve, they can, they work on it.